Hello everybody, this is Tina with Tia's Treasures, and today I have for you the February 2025 kit from Simon Says Stamp. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. I've got a cold I've been battling. So I did peek at this already because I just couldn't help myself. I've been waiting for this, but let's go ahead and we will open it again together. So we get a thing of Distress Collage Medium in matte. I went ahead and I ordered a couple add-ons. I've got this cute little All My Love stamp and the die that goes with it that kind of coordinates with the kit. It cuts out the center of this All My Love and then All My Love as a sentiment and the, what is this, number 10, 11, it looks like, or 7, I can't even tell what those numbers are, but they'll cut them out as well. And then I did get the dies for the kit. Figured why not? If this was like based on ephemera, this would help me make more ephemera. So let's take a look at this lovely kit. Heavy, I'll tell you that. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Pull out these. I haven't pulled it out of the kit, out of the paper bag. I just kind of peeked in there because I really wanted to see what was inside. Okay. We've got some foam stickers. I was hoping for black, but I'll take the white ones. Can't go wrong. I've got glue on my thumb. And so, foam stickers look kind of a little bit on the thick side. We've got a coupon code, and I was looking at this. That would be kind of cute just to cut that out and use on a card. Or maybe, a few of these fussy cut these chocolates. Even little Simon's cute as heck. And I had to check, make sure I was filming for a moment there. I'm like, did I turn the camera on? So this is the pack of ephemera. This thing is heavy. There is 136 pieces. Now, I did not open this. I just kind of took it out, admired it, and went, wow, that's pretty cool. Got, like a rainbow palette. So I'm gonna have to use this. I know a lot of card makers are using the ephemera, but I've got to use it too. It's just too good not to. Then our stamp set. Got a little flourish there and plenty of little sentiments, butterfly. I love these musical notes. And all the little postage cancellation stamps. There goes my dogs. We've got a cotton candy envelope. Let me shut my door. I don't know how much that's going to help. Maybe just a little bit. We've got the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. I love this stuff. Just can't get enough of that. Our embossing folder, the Pinnacle Hearts. We've got 10, I think it's 10 of these red card bases, side folding card bases. Got candy. I keep getting orange cream. Not that there's anything wrong with orange cream, but I think the last 4 kits I've got have had orange cream. Or something like it. I just seem to have a lot stuck over the side. And we've got our inspiration sheet. Oh, look at this. I almost forgot about these. The Distress Watercolor Pencils. Now, I have the whole set, so, gives me an opportunity to really go through these and use them. So I've got Lumberjack Plaid, which is a really nice red. It looks kind of more burgundy there, but it's a red. Blueprint Sketch and Brushed Corduroy. Okay, I'm not sure if anything. I know the Lumberjack Plaid and the Brushed Corduroy we could probably use for Valentine's cards. The Blueprint Sketch, not so sure about, but we will see. I might just pull in another color. Like I said, we've got our inspiration page. We've got a sheet of cotton candy cardstock and a sheet of watercolor cardstock. It's really textured on this side, not so much on this side. Does it say who that's by? Is that Tim Holtz or just watercolor? No, just Simon Says Stamp watercolor. Okay, so let me think about it, and I will be back and we'll make some cards. Okay, it's been a few days since I did the unboxing. I forget, like, this cold is just kicking my butt. I think I'm getting better, then I'm not. So anyway, I have some ideas for this. We're going to be using mostly this, well, we're going to be using the ephemera. I think I'm going to be using the stamp set a bit. And these cards are going to be similar, but they're different colors. So just bear with me here. What I have got are 3 watercolors out of my stash. I did not use the ones in the kit, but I have some Quiche Flamingo, some Wilted Violet, and some Fossilized Amber. And then I've got the watercolor cardstock that I cut down to be A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'll probably cut it down again because I also have a mat I want to use. So I will cut these down again after I watercolor on them. So we've got a pink with ephemera, we've got a lilac or purple, and yellow. So I've just pulled out a bunch of ephemera that I kind of liked. I'm going to do some collaging. I've got top folding card bases here. And what we're going to start doing is we are going to watercolor just a quick wash on our card bases. So let me kind of get these out of the way a little bit. I hope I'm in frame for everything. I need to get a better camera set up, I swear. Get that there and here. Oh, I also have a little bit of a ribbon. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this seam binding that I kind of colored in Wilted Violet. We might. And let's put this over to the side as well. All these yellow. That. I thought I grabbed a paintbrush. Give me a second. Okay. Just got a little paintbrush here. I think got these on Amazon a while ago. They're not the worst, but they're not the best. They're better than those bulk ones you get, like, 100 paintbrushes that I don't know where they showed up at. Probably had them since my kids were little. But I got a lot of real cheap paintbrushes. So these kind of decent. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. We'll get our paper a little wet. I've got the smooth side up on these. At least I think I do. Yep. No mistake in that. The rough side is pretty rough. My husband is out there talking to the dogs. I guess that's better than the dogs barking for a change. Okay, let's start with the pink. I'm going to just go ahead and get the color right off of the crayon. I know it's not really showing up too much, is it? Or maybe it's just my eyeballs. We're just going to keep at it till we get some color here. It's like I've done this before and got really good color. Maybe it's just the Quiche Flamingo that doesn't want to lay down any. There we go. It looks like we're getting a little bit. I might have to go back in and get like a picked raspberry or something. What do you think? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I've got some warm lipstick. I think the picked raspberry might be a little bit too pink. It's a little bit better. Get a little bit of color. I don't care if we get a little bit of splatter. And we're I want it to be more just a little organic looking. Not like I'm doing these big strokes. Maybe we need more water. Okay, I think that's it for the pink. We want it to be real light. Put that to the side. Now let's hope I get some decent color with my wilted violet. Let's go ahead and add some more water to this again. Well, it's definitely splattering a bit there, but not after we put our wash on it. Looks like I might have got a little bit over there on the pink, which is fine. We've got a few different things we're going to do to these card fronts here after we put this light wash down. I don't even think actually that showing these lines is going to matter that much because we're going to emboss them with the heart embossing folder, and we're going to do a little stamping on top of them. I've seen some similar cards from different card makers, and that's fine, you know. I had the idea, and then I saw, oh, other people are kind of doing that too. So I think great minds think alike, and when you're making cards, there's nothing totally original. Oh, it doesn't seem like to me anyway. Ooh, that's a bright yellow, isn't it? That's the brightest color we've got off of our watercolor so far. But again, that's okay. This looks more like squeezed lemonade to me if you would have asked, but it is fossilized amber. I just need it to be a little lighter. So let's go ahead and spray that. Okay, now these need to dry a little bit. Clean my paintbrush. So I've got ink cubes that match the color we put down. I've got some fossilized amber, wilted violet, and worn lipstick. Now, if we just stamp straight on here, you know, it still will be tone on tone, but we'll have a darker color. So we're going to stamp off first anything we do. So let me get the stamp set. You know, I should have had that out in front of me already. Okay. See how that stamps. There we go. And we've got now I've skipped a bit ahead instead of showing you all the same thing that was stamping. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to emboss these with the heart embossing folder. Because it's watercolor paper and it's kind of thick, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray a little bit of water, just spritz a little bit on the back of these before I put them through my die cutting machine. Again, I'm not going to show myself doing all that because I think y'all know how to do that. I put it through my machine. My sandwich basically is the back of the embossing folder card that comes with it. And that's it. Just the bottom plate, the embossing folder, and that cardboard card. And that's using the teal colored Platinum 6. If you've got a better folder, I'd love to hear it because I'm a little bit stumped. I do have the newest stamping platform too, the universal one I think it is, but I haven't played with that yet, so I'm still using the old setup. Now I am just going to take a 1/4 inch off of my card. I'm going to do I think it's like almost 1/8 of an inch off every side because I want to get it even on the top, bottom, and both sides. So we're going to trim it down so it fits on top of the colored cardstock that's going to be going on, you know, our cards. So we want it to be able to frame it nicely. And I just think a little bit of colored cardstock as a frame always looks really nice on all my cards. I don't do it on all of them, but I like it. Sometimes I just like the white border around them. So now we are on to figuring where we're going to put everything. I'm going to go start by gluing down the back of my colored cardstock. This is a piece out of my stash. This is actually a yellow basil. It's got a little bit of texture on the back of it, and I'm gluing the textured side down. And the other two pieces of cardstock colored that we use on the other two cards are just from Simon Says stamp. So you can use whatever you have in your stash. I'm still battling my cold and I'm a little bit out of it, so if this my voiceover sounds a little weird, so be it. Now, I started by trying to put all the pieces of ephemera that I pulled out on the card, but that's just way too busy, and, you know, after looking at it, it doesn't really work, and I have to decide which pieces then I'm going to use. Yeah, it's like, So I end up just choosing a few of my favorite ones, like the flowers here and the little bird. And, you know, not too many. I figure 4 or 5 pieces of ephemera will be enough. And I think, okay, this doesn't look too bad. Now, mind you, I never end up gluing everything down the exact same way that I have it, you know, put on the card at first. I could take a picture and do it that way, or even use some press and seal, but it's all good. It'll work out in the end. Now I'm taking the stamp that says Adore You and I am stamping it down. Now what I tend to forget is I'm on the back of foam tape and a textured background, so I have to kind of wiggle a little bit so I get the entire thing stamped. So it's not my best stamping job, but these are handmade cards, so it's all good. And I start to glue down that using liquid glue, and I decide, you know what, I think popping it up on a little bit of foam tape might be a little bit better. So this is some thin foam tape from, I think it's from it's a cherry on top. I got a big roll of this, and I only need 3 pieces on the back. And I'm going to use the foam tape on the back of all 3 cards. Now again, it's just me trying to remember where I had stuff originally placed. And, you know, it doesn't, like I said, they're not put down in the same spot I originally had them placed at. But it all works out in the end. And I put this down at an angle so the Adore You is straight across the bottom. And I'm going to tuck in this little piece of all yellow ephemera. I really like that. Don't ask me why. I just think it's really nice. And now I'm just trying to figure out where that last piece is going to go. And I think right now I'm done with that card. I'm going to come back to it in a little bit though. But first I'm going to move on to the pink card. And I am just trying to figure out now, do I want to use all the ephemera on this? But, you know, I am going to glue down our pink piece first. Man, this voiceover is all over the place. maybe I should pay attention to what I'm actually doing instead of what I think I'm going to be doing, because I am doing a voiceover on this part a day later than I actually filmed it. Took me a whole day to edit most of this. It's a long story. It's been a long day. So now I'm just putting my foam tape on the back of this, and I'm going to get it put on the front of the card. I'm not going to make you watch all of that. I'm having a little bit of trouble taking the release paper off. And here I figure it all out, and we're going to center this on the card. I like the way that looks without any ephemera. You know, I could go back and do this and just put maybe one piece or something in the middle. I think it would look fine too, which is like a big heart there. And I love this blank piece of ephemera, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. And I decide that I want to put a heart on it. So I pull out just a Tim Holtz stamp set that I have. Any heart you have will do if you want to make something similar to this. It doesn't have to be a Tim Holtz heart. I think we all pretty much have hearts in our stash. At least most of us do, I hope. And I'm just using the heart with the XOXO sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that right in the center of this piece of ephemera. And I'm going to use some worn lipstick, Distress Oxide. Now I chose the Distress Oxide instead of the ink for the simple fact that I wanted it to look a little bit more opaque, like, you know, Distress Oxides are chalkier than their Distress ink counterparts, and I wanted it to be a bit chalky. Now at first I was stamping off, thinking that I would just stamp it off once and it would be fine, and it's not quite dark enough, so I do it again and I still am not getting it dark enough, so I decide the heck with it, and I'm just going to come in with it full strength and stamp that. And finally I'm like, yeah, that'll work, why not? And now I got to come back and I've got to glue all of my ephemera in place. And again, looking at that background of, you know, with the little butterfly and thing, I think just with a single piece of ephemera with a sentiment, it would have looked really good as well. So you don't have to use all the ephemera that came in the kit. You can, you know, just use a piece to really give your card a little bit of oomph. But I do like the way these cards look with the ephemera as well. So placing everything a little bit this way and that way. And I need something in that corner, so we got this little bit of ephemera we're going to stick right there on top. And we're going to put this heart right in the center of the card, just right on top of everything, with our little XOXO. And we are done with this card for now. Now we're going to come in with our purple cardstock pretty soon, I hope. Oh, nope, see what I mean about getting ahead of myself? I decided that this card needed one more thing, and I was thinking, should we put a heart on it? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to frame up this little birdie. So I pulled out the frame piece of ephemera. I was going through the ephemera looking for maybe something to put on the yellow kit when I decided the frame would work. And so now I'm done with that. And now I'm going to glue the purple cardstock on my card. And if you are enjoying this at all, please give me a thumbs up. That will help. I'm not the best for getting out content on time, so any little engagement with the channel helps me greatly. Keeps people finding the channel. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's good for me. For you, I don't know. Okay, so now I'm just putting down my purple background, And I originally thought I was going to use the piece of purple ribbon, so I tied it in a bow, and I thought I've got the piece of ephemera that actually talks about taffeta ribbon, which was why I was going to use the ribbon underneath it. But after I put everything down, it doesn't end up working for me. So I'm just trying to find, what pieces I like best. I'm not going to use all of these purple pieces, but I use about 5 of them. So, you just got to play around with things until it's pleasing to your eye. Don't worry about anybody else. You just got to do what you like. Because after all, we are the card makers, and when we send them out to people, we're sending them things that we hope they'll like as a reflection of ourselves. And the reflection of myself is kind of on the wussy side because I'm sick, but doing my best. So I decide that I am going to put a heart in the center of this one too. Although I didn't stamp it on any ephemera, I thought just a single heart. So I went ahead and stamped it with the wilted violet, and I cut it out with one of the dies I have. It was a little bit too white around the edges, so I wanted to make it look a little bit more vintagey. So I did use some vintage photo around it, and then I just used some more around all the ephemera, just what was already on my foam blending tool. It took me a while to come up with that word. And again, I'm just gluing down my pieces here where I think they need to go. No rhyme or reason. I do love the purple one, I think, the best because it's one of my favorite colors. And we've got that big spot up at the top where we're going to put our little moth. You can tell they're moths instead of butterflies. They've got like bigger antennae usually and a thicker body. But moths can be just as beautiful as butterflies in my opinion. And I am going to glue that heart right in the center of this card. And now I decide that I'm going to use a little bit of Tim Holtz's Spritz in colors that match my inks. So I'm going to use some wilted violet for this one, worn lipstick, and then some amber, fossilized amber for the yellow card. And we're just going to spray a little bit of it going on. It does go on as an angle as well. I just do a little spritz on it, hence the name Spritz. So we're going to get a little bit of that shimmer when you look at it in the light. Now I just want it to, not glop on there, so any big droplets I had, I mopped up with a little paper towel, and then I just used my heat tool to try to dry it off a bit because I was impatient and wanted to move on to the next color. But I think the spritz added just what it needed. I didn't want to pull out any enamel dots or anything, so this is it for all 3 of my cards. And I think they turned out rather well, and I've got enough ephemera left that I could probably make 50 more cards easily. It wouldn't surprise me if I still had ephemera left. There's just so much in this kit. And then I would still have the actual stamp set and everything else to keep making cards after that. So this kit gives pretty good value, and I don't work for Simon Says. It's just me. So anyway, that's it. Bye-bye for now, everyone.